To stand alone is one of the oldest acts of courage, and often one of the quietest. Machiavelli knew that real integrity doesn't make you louder, it makes you lonelier. The world admires conviction until it challenges what they've built. To live by your truth means risking distance, losing comfort, carrying weight in silence. But solitude born from self-honesty is not exile. It is sanctuary. When you choose not to betray yourself, you may lose the crowd. But you keep something far more rare, your soul, unbent. And in that space, stripped of applause, untouched by compromise, strength becomes something still, enduring, and entirely your own. Integrity isn't the easy path, but it is the only one that leads home. We embark on a journey into the depths of our own being, where the silent fortress of the self stands resolute. This fortress, set apart from the world's relentless chatter, serves as both a refuge and a realm of exile, embodying Machiavelli's insight into power's solitary nature. Here, within the tranquil embrace of solitude, personal strength reveals itself, free from the yearning for external validation. Within these quiet walls, a paradox unfolds. This fortress, when nurtured, becomes a sanctuary, a sacred space where our deepest thoughts and emotions find peace. Away from the clamour of societal demands, we begin to see our true desires, unfiltered and unmasked. Solitude, thus, is not merely isolation, but a chrysalis for transformation, allowing our authentic selves to emerge. Yet the very walls that protect can also confine. Solitude's darker shadow lurks when isolation hardens into rigidity, turning self-reflection into self-repression. Balancing the sanctuary within with the world outside becomes the key, ensuring our fortress remains a cradle of growth, not a prison. Machiavelli, in his discernment, saw the hidden strength in solitude's embrace. Decisions birthed in isolation carry an unspoiled conviction, emerging from a fidelity to one's core values, free from the chains of conformity. This solitude is not withdrawal, but a strategic retreat, a quiet place where their power is honed, untainted by the sins of the crowd. It is where fears and desires meet, charting a path of true, unassailable strength, a strength that engages the world with silent confidence. Within the sanctuary of solitude lies the sacred realm of self-realization. This is a place where the soul speaks its truest essence, unearthing the narratives we have woven. Facing our vulnerabilities becomes an act of courage, where identity unravels and reforms, founded not on external echoes but an authentic, self-determined existence. Here, solitude becomes a tapestry of spiritual growth, elevating isolation to a sacred communion with the self. Embracing solitude as spiritual practice, the fortress transforms into a divine companion. This sacred alchemy fosters a deepening spiritual journey, where silence resonates within, acting as a guide into contemplative depths. In this crucible of introspection, solitude becomes devotion, and the mundane world gives way to divine connection. Guarded by the twin sentinels of fear and freedom, the fortress holds space for profound bravery. Fear, the initial gatekeeper, warns of the risks inherent in solitude, whispering of being left behind. Yet, it is within this fear that the potential for true freedom lies, an emancipation from external approval, where authenticity flourishes unfettered. This newfound freedom challenges us to embrace solitude's gifts, allowing autonomy and identity to be reborn in the face of fear's murmurings. This voyage into solitude unveils the divided self, where inner conflict casts shadows at every turn. The fortress mirrors this duality, urging us toward reconciliation and understanding. Through introspection, we weave these fragmented pieces together, embracing the shadow within us. Shadows, once denied, find a place of honour when acknowledged, fostering a transformative unity. Here, the fortress becomes a place of gentle healing, where we embrace both light and shadow, finding ourselves renewed within its walls. The fortress's boundaries, like those we set in our lives, protect and define our autonomy. Here we recognise the need for spaces governed by personal values. Boundaries are thresholds, marking where our energy and time are sovereign. They assert our self-worth and integrity, standing firm against external pressures, empowering us to engage with the world from a grounded sense of authenticity. Stillness within this sanctuary becomes a pathway to rediscovering the self. As the world's chaos fades, inner resonance replaces it, permitting mindfulness and clarity. Amidst the calm, anxiety dissipates and the heart whispers its truths, guiding us back to centre. Within this ancestral stronghold lies wisdom, a chorus of timeless echoes from sages of the past. Ancient insights whisper through the ages, reminding us that solitude's challenges have always been a part of human life. These voices speak of resilience and courage, encouraging us to embark on our introspective pilgrimage with humility and reverence. In the heart of this inner fortress, the shadow is welcomed, a vital part of the journey toward authenticity. Machiavelli's insight reminds us of the power found in integrating shadow aspects, surfacing from gentle communion, not confrontation. Shadows cannot thrive in fear, but dissolve into curiosity and acceptance. Through this compassionate embrace, our psyche unites, nurturing a profound healing and acceptance. The fortress strengthens our resolve, aligning shadow and light, and bestows upon us the unyielding essence of self, reflecting the wholeness of our true being. In the quiet depths where the self communes with the soul, a silent struggle unfolds, a timeless dance between the call of integrity and the pull of conformity. In a world that hums to the rhythmic expectations of prevailing norms, those who choose the solitary path of truth often find themselves wading through ethereal layers of unseen tension. It is here, in this shadowed terrain, that personal principles stand unwavering against the flowing tide, becoming both fortress and exile in the journey of human experience. The nonconformist charts a solitary path scattered with emotional complexities, forging an introspective battle as personal truth dances with communal expectations. This path is less a rebellion, more a crucible, where character is refined by the ardent fires of collective resistance. People who choose this road, often seen as dissenters or misunderstood eccentrics, hold a conviction that stretches beyond mere rebellion. Their adherence to deeply held principles serves as an internal compass, a quiet yet profound assertion of self-worth that defies the world's equation of conformity with worthiness. In this sacred act of standing apart, there exists an unspoken testament to resolve, quietly admired but rarely vocalized, a silent embodiment of courage and conviction. As societal waves lap at the edges of individuality, those who uphold their principles find themselves pushed subtly to the margins, a quiet exile that underscores the unseen cost of walking one's own path. This phenomenon drifts in like an ancient whisper, a gentle but persistent distancing that envelops when others sense an uncoupling from the collective rhythm of shared beliefs. Nonconformists tread paths as outsiders, occupying spaces not quite within yet never entirely without, experiencing a dynamic that rewards conformity and shuns individuality. Yet this solitude, opens vistas of perspective rarely glimpsed within the crowd, offering the nonconformist a sanctuary to question and interpret, to seek understanding beyond the edges of what is known. Still, the path is veiled in misunderstanding, a mist that obscures the true intent behind actions deeply rooted in integrity. To many, the steadfastness of conviction appears as stubbornness, strength mistaken for arrogance. But beyond this veil lies a deeper reality, a world where individuals engage in a silent, invisible dialogue between ideals and realities. The essence of societal relationships often gravitates toward conformity, challenging each who stands apart to confront not just others' misjudgments, but their own reflections. Through the discomfort of being misunderstood blooms a delicate dance of self-realization, a journey that sings of authenticity amid a cacophony of expectations. Beneath the collective surface, the non-compliant individual stands as a mirror, reflecting not only their truth, but also the latent discomfort within communities unaccustomed to such stark revelations. This reflection disrupts the tranquil waters of shared belief, prompting a subtle distancing, an engagement avoided to maintain the harmony of the collective status quo. Communities strive for equilibrium, often preferring the comforting embrace of unchallenged norms over the disruptive beauty of introspection offered by those prioritizing authenticity. As such, non-compliance, while challenging isolation, yields a blueprint for growth, should others choose to step into the light it offers. Amidst these currents, psychological resilience emerges as a sacred ally, a gentle yet unyielding force that lies essential for navigating the quiet storms of social ostracism. This resilience, nurtured in solitude, speaks not of isolation but of self-reliance, a tender testament to truth bound in a fabric of personal strength, drawing not on external validation but instead from the deep wells of inner resources. The nonconformist transforms solitude into sanctuary, their journey unfolding literally as an exploration of self-worth. Through the journey, amid the world's relentless demands, resilience whispers of a power, not born but cultivated, a companion upon which the nonconformist leans as they dance between independence and the subtle tug of the world's expectation. Non-compliance crafts an existence delineated by boundaries, deliberately chosen and lovingly maintained, an embrace that defines the journey, holding selfhood in an intricate dance with society. Unlike imposed norms, these self-forged boundaries chart interaction through intention, reflecting a profound grasp of one's inner values. In this deliberate choice lies an evolution rather than rebellion, a journey along a path undefined by societal dictates. In these self-crafted spaces, solitude harbours understanding, obscured to those resting secure within conformity's embrace. Here emotional mastery reveals itself, an art form, an alchemy transforming inner turmoil into strength. These emotions, while fierce, become transient challenges turned to allies in this sacred journey of maintaining integrity. Within the heart of the nonconformist lies a refusal to resist or succumb. Instead, they consciously harmonise their inner and outer worlds, allowing the fabric of lived experience to expand and enrich their understanding. From this inner work stems a legacy not of rebellion but of courage, a quiet torchlight illuminating paths that challenge and question, ultimately encouraging introspection. Thus, the legacy of the nonconformist weaves into existence reflection as an inquiry, a transformative journey that unfurls the richness of a life lived authentically. Through continuous exploration, they transcend the superficial, diving deeper into self-discovery. In this embrace of non-compliance, lives are steeped in intention, stained with the colours of an existence deliberately chosen. It whispers of unwritten rewards, of an integrity that stands firm amid change, rooting the individual deeply within themselves, revealing not a static destination but a constant, evolving dialogue with the universe, one that demands nothing less than living fully alive within one's truth. In the quiet whispers of the night, where shadows lace the edges of our thoughts, true leadership emerges not with a roar, but with a gentle, unwavering confidence. It thrives in the fertile undercurrent of inner clarity, a strength that does not waver amidst the chaos of external validation. Often we mistake the loudness of applause for the mark of achievement, yet genuine power resides in the silent understanding and embracing of one's values and principles. For those whose hearts beat with this quiet authority, leadership transforms into a profound responsibility, a sacred calling rather than a platform for command. These leaders, much like ancient trees with roots deep within the soul's rich soil, stand unmoved by the transient storms of fleeting approval. Their steadfast nature is not born out of stubbornness, but from a nurtured awareness that the accolades of others are not their ultimate pursuit. With each passing moment, inner clarity unfurls like a journeyed path, an ever-evolving pilgrimage into the depths of self-knowledge. It requires courage, a fearless confrontation with the shadows where lingering fears and doubts reside, empowering the resolute spirit that emerges when the need for external approval is cast aside. Yet in solitude, a profound realization unfolds, a visionary front forged in the crucible of silence, where leaders draw strength not from the cacophony of the world, but from a sacred, inward passage. It's a silence that cradles them through self-inquiry and integration, unveiling the complexities harboured beneath the surface of what one believed complete. Through this alchemy, leaders transcend the conventional, unravelling the layers of their identity until a cohesive self emerges, rooted in the chaos of human nature, yet unwavering in the respect for its frailties and strengths. To lead without basking in the limelight is a path often threaded with thorns, yet it holds a sacred promise. This solitary journey emboldens leaders to forsake the well-worn path of recognition, stepping instead into the wilderness of innovation and self-discovery. They are the quiet sculptors of change, unseen yet unyielding, shaping the world not with grand gestures, but with the gentle persistence that breaks through convention. In their relentless pursuit of authenticity, leaders infuse the world with their silent courage, cultivating legacies that defy the ephemeral grasp of time and applause. Obstacles in their formidable presence are nurturers of this enduring leadership, for those who possess the unyielding sight to see beyond mere obstruction, discover opportunities tucked within. In this transformative vision, challenges become the stepping stones through which new pathways emerge. Obstacles morph into chances for innovation, and setbacks serve as invitations to deepen understanding. In this dynamic relationship with adversity, leaders engage with life, seeking hidden gifts, fashioning possibilities out of the seemingly impossible with tenacity and grace. It is their authenticity, a radical act of defiance in a world eager for conformity, that becomes the quiet power they wield. In unleashing their true essence, leaders evoke an inner sanctum where truth resides, unbowed by the clamour for outer acceptance. This strength finds its roots not in displays of grandeur, but in the acceptance of imperfection as an intrinsic facet of life. They find peace and enlightenment in vulnerability, embracing the ever-shifting landscape within, weaving shadows into light until an intricate tapestry of leadership emerges. Vision outshines the need for validation. It is a creation of boundless imagination that perceives possibilities unseen by others. Visionaries nurture dreams not for applause, but to manifest realities yet unformed. Compelled by an intrinsic force, their focus extends beyond personal triumph to serve the greater good, awakening seeds of transformation that ripple through time. This enduring faith in the quiet power of authenticity assures them that what is true will ultimately transcend the noise of momentary approval. In isolation, they lay a foundation of resonant influence, a quiet authority that exerts its pull invisibly, yet moulds perceptions and decisions with a profound, unheard resonance. By living their principles with quiet determination, these leaders spark inspiration, inviting others to embrace their inherent strength and authenticity. As their influence spreads like an unseen chain of light, it reverberates through the fabric of consciousness, reinforcing the quiet revolution of enduring legacies far grander than themselves. Isolation may appear as the antithesis of connection, yet it is here that true communion with self and others deepens. In this solitude, leaders craft relationships untainted by dependence or the craving for approval, offering genuine presence, support and guidance. Their introspection allows them to touch the lives of others with authenticity, revealing an honest connection that strengthens communities through this balanced dance of solitude and connectedness. Herein lies their quiet power, a legacy of courage and authenticity, a testament to those who seek authority not for the transient praise of the hour, but for the silent truths that shape the course of history, leaving imprints that ripple across time. In the quiet shadows of our communal existence, conformity weaves itself into the fabric of our lives, acting as an invisible currency traded for the warmth of inclusion and whispered acceptance. This subtle form of exchange delicately shapes our choices, our aspirations, and even the dreams we dare to dream in our private hours. Across the vast expanse of society, norms silently dictate the dance of life, establishing unseen boundaries that define who we are supposed to be. Within these lines, belonging offers its rewards, a gentle acceptance, a comforting connection, an identity to hold on to in the night. Yet like the sharp edge of a beloved sword, this conformity cuts both ways. When belonging drapes itself as a weapon upon our shoulders, it gently coerces us into cloaks of unfamiliar fabric, forcing a compromise between authenticity and acceptance. The rewards of fitting in reveal themselves as masterful tools of control, binding us into roles that often feel foreign. Thus there arises a silent struggle, a dance of contradictions, as we yearn for integrity within the confines of approval, a tension echoing through the corridors of our introspective moments. In the tender embrace of family, expectations materialize like silent glyphs etched into our hearts, defining the paths we are meant to tread. These familial guides, well-intentioned and firm, bear the weight of tradition and shared history, a comforting anchor, but one that can entangle the quest for self. In the pursuit of autonomy, the divergence from these paths can feel like an act of treachery, as loyalty to family waltzes in cadence with the drive for individual freedom. Yet what is betrayal to some can be evolution to others, the journey towards selfhood, a delicate ballet between grace and rebellion. Not to sever blood ties, but to embrace the soul's quiet truth. In the corporate halls, the dance of conformity twirls in practiced steps, each move measured and deliberate. The workplace, with its unwritten codes and tacit expectations, invites us to don masks and guises of productivity and resolve. Success and acceptance appear attainable through the art of blending in. However, innovation and true expression often pay a heavy toll beneath this veil of compliance, stifled by the fear of standing apart. Within these corridors of aspiration, the echoes of unique thought are softened, urging a retreat into conformity that masquerades as diligence. Yet for every step taken in sync, there is a call for authenticity, a chance to reclaim creativity's vibrant voice, the courage to foster environments where ideas blossom unfettered by conformity allows for a symphony of perspectives, celebrating the harmonious discord of diversity and innovation over mere adherence. It is here in the honesty of open dialogue that true progress is scribed upon the pages of corporate history. Within the delicate hierarchies of social order, individuals are often asked to surrender fragments of their truth, leaving behind echoes of authenticity in their ascension. The longing to rise becomes intertwined with the risk of losing oneself among the shadows of societal approval. This journey, punctuated by moments of self-abandonment taught as survival, creates a narrative where the soul's vibrancy is dulled by the desire to fit neatly within predefined lines. However, true belonging calls for a re-evaluation, a rediscovery of values that roots itself in personal integrity rather than outward validation. It is here, within oneself, that the deepest form of belonging is to be found. The path of courage and authenticity, though it may lead to the solitude of standing apart, holds the potential for profound clarity and an enriched inner life, enabling one to re-engage with the world grounded firmly in their own truth. To wear the mask of approval, navigating society's nuanced performance stages, allows for a semblance of acceptance, yet beneath lies a symphony of tension, an unsettling surrender of self. This mask, with all its fragility, silences the authentic voice, leaving in its wake a lingering dissonance. Yet as it fractures, it reveals a chance to dance in the unguarded light of truth, crafting honest connections and forging pathways back to a genuine self. In the intricate weave of our societal landscapes, intersectionality adds layers of complexity, shaping unique patterns of belonging and acceptance. These intersections of identity challenge singular narratives, offering a kaleidoscope through which belonging transcends simple acceptance, inviting an embrace of shared human experience without the confines of societal labels. Collective dynamics then gently stitch conformity as social glue, predictable, comforting, yet occasionally suffocating. While it offers stability, the cost may be creativity's silenced bloom. Here lies an opportunity, a chance to renegotiate the narratives and redefine cultural norms, ushering in environments that welcome diversity and eschew compliance in favour of sincere collaboration. As cultural pioneers, we step into new stories where belonging celebrates individual authenticity and collective unity. Ultimately, we are called toward a paradigm of belonging where authenticity becomes the cherished currency, where differences are woven into vibrant tapestries of human connection. Here, integrity is not just a cornerstone, but the invitation warm in the ask, an invitation to a future where our shared humanity does not demand conformity, but thrives on the unity of diverse truths. In the stillness of our modern lives, the quiet power of introspection gently calls us away from the relentless noise. Silence weaves its way through our minds, inviting a deeper understanding of the self, where introspection becomes a sacred pause. In these moments, we reflect, not seeking external validation, but uncovering the truths that lie within. Silent decisions born from this space offer clarity and an escape from societal pressures, transforming our choices into intentional acts. They ask for steadfast honesty and a brave confrontation with the layers of identity we have constructed. In facing ourselves without the masks we wear, we discover the quiet whisper of intuition that guides us beyond superficial desires toward deeper truths. Each silent choice holds the weight of newfound understanding, as if tuning into an inner dialogue that questions our motivations and desires. It is not the answer that matters, but the journey of inquiry that unfolds quietly, stripping away pretenses and leaving only what is essential. These choices become sacred pacts with ourselves, resilient commitments that navigate the complex landscapes of our mind, not for the world's gaze, but to steer the path of our interior labyrinth. Integrity often demands a retreat from comfort, pulling us towards paths less travelled. The allure of ease and acceptance lures the weary soul, yet the call to integrity requires sacrifices. It asks us to say no to comfort, to walk unpaved terrain that honours authenticity over transient delights. This resolve is less about masochism and more about liberation, shedding society's expected comforts to foster inner alignment between values and actions. The world may misjudge such decisions, but within their silent strength lies profound resilience, a strength born from the understanding that fulfillment resides not in comfort, but in a truth that reclaims personal agency. Recognition often glistens as a tempting illusion, a mirage shimmering in the desert of the ego. Though it offers promises of security and belonging, it might deviate us from genuine engagement with the self. Choosing integrity over the allure of applause demands an anchorage in self-awareness, grounding in truth while resisting accolades that distort self-worth. This choice bears a quiet consequence, learning to beat in rhythm with one's heart, unfettered by external applause. Within the solitude of such decisions lies strength, which guides the genuine self to flourish, unencumbered and whole. True solitude, often mistaken for loneliness, becomes a sanctuary for silent choices, a realm devoid of distraction where clarity and a presence deepen. Here, solitude is not emptiness but a fruitful ground, a quiet retreat where one can explore inner complexities and validate their own truth. It nurtures a profound serenity, allowing the soul to breathe without intrusion. And as silent choices are made in these peaceful shadows, intention and clarity blossom, unfazed by external noise or pressure. Walking the silent path inevitably involves navigating discomfort, moving through tension and uncertainty with grace. This journey, though not free of pain, embraces discomfort as a catalyst for growth, defying ease and complacency. Through discomfort, we confront and shed layers of illusion, discovering truths unveiled only through facing adversity head-on. Grace in this discomfort means understanding it not as a hindrance, but a transformative force, one that delivers us to deeper fulfillment and self-realization while remaining true to the silent whisper of choice. Boundaries, though invisible, stand as monuments to silent strength, gently guarding our inner sanctuaries and aligning choices with core values. They are silent declarations, not of isolation, but of protection, maintaining peace and truth. In preserving these boundaries, confidence blooms, quietly ensuring resilience and integrity remain intact against the encroaching noise of external pressures. These quiet sentinels guide choices, reinforcing commitment to an undisturbed inner world where chaos fails to penetrate. At the heart of this lies the art of non-attachment, freeing ourselves from the grasping tendrils of expectation. It is a practice of delicate balance, engaging fully, yet releasing the need for control. In this space, silent choices are not born of apathy, but reflect a wisdom steeped in learning from the journey rather than fixating on outcomes. As desires that bind us fall away, peace emerges in the present moment, where authentic truth resides and flourishes. The compass that directs silent choices is honed through inner dialogue, a conversation that uncovers bias, reshapes internalized beliefs, and fosters a genuine spirit of curiosity. With patient attentiveness, it guides us through challenges toward harbours of acceptance and understanding. As we refine this compass, silent choices gain boldness and clarity, joined in the realization that our inner world holds immense power over our actions. Through nurturing this practice, we align choices with deeper truths, paving our path with assurance and intentionality. In the end, this journey of silent choices reveals a path to authentic resilience, a strength lived rather than spoken. It transforms challenges into stepping stones of transcendence, threading courage through the fabric of our lives. Each choice becomes a testament to the freedom found in aligning values with actions. Wholeness arises from these silent choices, unified in a harmony that merges our inner and outer worlds. In this profound wholeness, we encounter our true selves, living authentically, liberated, and aligned with gentle conviction. In the labyrinth of societal expectations, those who live with deep integrity often find themselves walking a path of solitude, a necessary journey rather than a chosen one. Their intentions, pure and profound, remain veiled by the opaque lenses through which others view them. To live with such integrity is to wear an invisible cloak, shielding them from the superficiality that surrounds them. Yet, this very protection renders them unseen, leading to a world more at ease with conformity than authentic existence. Their unwavering commitment to truth becomes a quiet rebellion against the tides of mediocrity. Seen through the distorted mirror of societal norms, these individuals appear as enigmas, their actions cryptic to those unprepared to delve deeper. In the eyes of the unknowing, they might be seen as aloof, cold, or even defiant. Yet these misjudgments stem not from malice but from a lack of understanding, the inability to fathom the principles and inner truth that lie beneath the surface. Their strength often attracts suspicion instead of admiration, situating them in a twilight zone between reverence and skepticism, where their true act of courage is to remain steadfast amidst misunderstanding. Authenticity, when wielded as a shield, both protects and isolates. In the cacophony of modern life, an authentic voice sings clear yet may echo across empty chambers or meet barricades of resistance. This voice disrupts the predictable rhythms of social dynamics. While some may feel a resonance, others are disconcerted by its purity, mistaking it for defiance. Authentic individuals do not craft their narratives for approval. Their truth is an alchemical essence that transforms their understanding but mystifies others. Such authenticity carries a price. It's a currency often exchanged not for admiration, but for misconstruction and alienation. Embracing authenticity means accepting that others might label you as inflexible or rebellious. Society's fondness for categorization struggles to encapsulate the fluid nature of authenticity, creating tension between acceptance and rejection. In this dynamic, the person of integrity exists as both beacon and shadow, illuminated by self-awareness yet obscured by the projections of others. Projection is a lens through which society frequently views those with unwavering integrity. Jungian psychology teaches us that unresolved inner conflicts lead to the displacement of one's shadows onto others. Confronted with someone whose integrity stirs these shadows, people recoil, casting their turmoil as misconceptions. The misunderstood become mirrors for insecurities, reflecting parts of others that remain unacknowledged. These projections, often unintentional, present a challenge, maintaining compassion amid misapprehension. They require emotional resilience and a nuanced comprehension of human psychology, not internalizing the shadows cast upon them, but acknowledging the dance between collective and individual psyches. Yet being misunderstood is not always a misfortune. It can serve as a conduit for wisdom and growth. When others fail to comprehend the integrity one embodies, it sparks a journey inward, promoting self-awareness and maturity. Misunderstandings remind that truth is not consensus-driven, and the quest for validation is as transient as the changing seasons. True integrity means clarity in one's values, even shrouded by the fog of others' misconceptions. Wisdom derived from misunderstanding offers protection against external judgment, allowing the misunderstood to embrace their solitude. Over time, they hone resilience, cultivating strength within the fertile soil of reflection. Navigating the dichotomy of authenticity in a world that prizes facades presents a crucible for character. This dynamic asks how one can maintain authenticity without divorcing from social connection. Balancing self-awareness and adaptability, acknowledging that while society values its constructs, one's essence need not be compromised becomes essential. This navigation involves an intricate dance of self-assertion and empathy, discerning when silence becomes power. It allows the person of integrity to remain true without isolating themselves, creating a delicate balance that navigates societal currents with wisdom. Silence becomes a sanctuary in a world of constant noise. It serves as both refuge and strategy. Silence in moments where words might only entangle misunderstanding becomes eloquence. It acts as a barrier, preventing truth's dilution and judgment. Such silence is a tool for reflection and discernment, providing a pause to evaluate motives and intentions. It allows decisions on when to engage, ensuring dialogues serve a higher purpose. In silence, intuition reigns, untainted by external pressures. Empathy offers a unique capacity for those who feel misunderstood, providing them with an intuitive understanding of marginalisation. This empathy emerges from shared experiences of misapprehension, fostering genuine connections. It becomes an active force, breaking down barriers erected by misunderstanding. Empathy transforms narratives, allowing the misunderstood to become bridges for others. Their capacity for empathy creates spaces where authentic exchanges flourish, healing wounds and guiding others toward genuine understanding. The art of non-detection, a choice to transcend societal scrutiny, becomes essential. Instead of hiding, it allows authenticity to unfold naturally. It fosters self-reliance, ensuring motives remain unswayed by opinions. Such non-detection sees life as a canvas, where actions form an authentic portrait. In this unobtrusive flow, integrity thrives, effecting change without the limiting gaze of shallow evaluation. Ultimately, societal misunderstanding can prompt one to rewrite the narratives imposed upon them, reclaiming self-truth. This rewrite challenges assumptions and sculpts identity, not as rebellion, but as a celebration of individuality. The mystique of paradox becomes evident, accepting that truth knows no singular form. This duality, accepted with grace, offers profound wisdom. Embodying these contradictions allows individuals to transform misunderstanding into insight, a rich tapestry of introspection and understanding. In the quiet corners of our being, where the world's clamour fades to whispers, we encounter the essence of inner sovereignty. It is here in this sacred space that we unfurl the banners of self-trust and autonomy, crafting a fortress of quiet assurance. Inner sovereignty is an emblem of self-worth, untethered from the fickle tides of external approval. It is a realm not forged overnight, but built patiently through sustained introspection and a curious heart willing to dance with its own shadows. This sanctum stands firm amidst the swirling chaos of external opinion, a haven of intentions and beliefs that remain unmoved by transient winds. To step into this realm is to disentangle oneself from the elaborate threads of societal expectation, seeking instead the tender whispers of our inner compass. As we journey inward, we engage in dialogue with solitude, inviting it to reveal the richness of our inner landscape. In solitude's embrace, we learn to hold space for our own contradictions and imperfections, nurturing an integrity as steadfast as ancient stone. This pilgrimage, solitary in nature, yields a strength both profound and rare, a strength that eludes the shallow grasp of superficial eyes. As the gentle foundation of self-trust takes root, we find an unshakable confidence blossoming from within, a faith anchored in personal insight rather than external dictum. This trust is not a gift bestowed by talent, nor an accolade acquired with skill, but a quiet growth fostered through years of self-discovery and embracing the vulnerability that lies therein. In cultivating it, we align with intrinsic values and dreams, charting a path distinctively our own, undisturbed by the noise of external opinions or societal pressures. Acceptance of missteps as seeds of wisdom, rather than markers of failure, is woven into the tapestry of this trust. It acknowledges our capacity to rebound and evolve from challenges, seeing in each experience a lesson that deepens our soul. This assurance nudges us gently away from the outward chase of approval, beckoning us toward an existence guided by our inner compass. It may lead us into moments of solitude, yet it unveils the rich truth that fulfillment does not sprout from outward accolades, but from communion with our inner truths. In the quiet echoes of internal conflict, when personal values brush against societal norms, we find the ground of true sovereignty. These moments of friction challenge us to stand rooted in our truths, even if in silence and solitude. By choosing authenticity over the seductive comfort of conformity, we embody integrity, aligning actions with our core convictions and fostering peace born of genuine self-expression. Solitude offers more than mere retreat. It is an enriching exchange with our deepest selves. Here, away from the world's discord, we rediscover the symphony of our inner voices, a dialogue of discovery that nurtures awareness and peace. Solitude thus becomes a vital ally on this sacred journey, not as a cloak of loneliness, but as a canvas for reflection and self-renewal. Silence too joins us as a wise companion, underscoring the profound power of introspection. In its gentle embrace, we create space for the whispers of intuition, a vibrant realm where revelations and transformation are possible. Silence beckons us to step aside from life's relentless pace to witness the ebb and flow of our experiences, confronting our vulnerabilities and strengths alike. In this dance with ourselves, we find that embracing imperfection brings forth our truest strength. Our flaws and vulnerabilities are not burdens but facets of our wholeness, transforming perceived weaknesses into pillars of resilience. This acceptance invites us into authentic connection and understanding, peeling away the illusions of perfection to reveal the truth of our being. Integrity emerges as our unseen guide in this journey toward inner sovereignty. It is the quiet promise whispered in the chambers of our hearts, aligning our actions with our deepest values and beliefs. Unheralded, it persists as a compass pointing ever toward authenticity, urging us to resist the easy paths of conformity in favour of those aligned with our true essence. The voyage toward wholeness beckons us into the labyrinth of self, a beautifully complex exploration that strips away the layers of societal conditioning and doubt. Each twist and turn, filled with joys and trials, shapes our evolving sense of self, propelling us toward a life rooted in authenticity and purpose. We realise in this journey that wholeness is not found in the elusive ideal of perfection, but in the harmonious embrace of every fragment of our being. It is the soul's pilgrimage, a lifelong dance with discovery, growth, and the sacred art of living from a place of integrity and truth. Through this unfolding journey, we uncover the profound depths of inner sovereignty, a gentle, unwavering connection to our deepest selves and the world around us. In the gentle embrace of solitude, many envisage an arid expanse, a desolate exile where the voices of our thoughts resonate endlessly into the ether. Yet, imagined differently, solitude becomes a crucible of alchemy, a sanctuary where the impurities of societal expectations and the clamour of external validation are burned away, leaving behind the pure awe of self-awareness and inner resolve. Within this sacred quietude, distractions evaporate, allowing us to gaze into the mirror of introspection, stripped of all artifice. Here we become silent seekers, witnessing the dance of our shadows, grappling with hidden fears, and weaving together the tapestry of our desires. In this stark purity, the beauty of our own intricate complexities begins to emerge, a serene kaleidoscope of contradictions and honesty. This crucible represents not punishment but a rite of profound initiation. Here, we navigate the labyrinths of our minds, uncovering forgotten paths and hidden alcoves, crafting personal philosophies and values untainted by the influence of others. Our internal dialogue, once a harsh critic, transforms into a nurturing whisper of self-compassion and latent wisdom. The quietude amplifies the subtle call of our inner voice, leading us toward truths overlooked amidst the noise of superficial pursuit. Through this alchemical journey, clarity emerges, readying us to rejoin the world with renewed resolve and a profound sense of purpose. Isolation provides the ideal canvas for shadow work, rooted in Carl Jung's profound insights into the unconscious. Such solitude offers the quietness to explore the darker corners of our psyche without fear or judgment. Here we confront our shadow, the buried, often denied aspects of ourselves that we conceal from both the world and ourselves. Yet this encounter is not combative, but rather a dance of integration, a chance to acknowledge these unspoken elements and weave them into the fabric of our conscious identity. In solitude, we uncover the root causes of our patterns, understanding the traumas or beliefs that have forged them. This work requires courage and vulnerability, as we sit with discomfort and reclaim the power these shadows conceal. Empowered by this revelation, we break free from cycles that no longer serve us, healing the fragmentations within our souls. We then enter the realm of the visionary's retreat, a place romanticised by the tales of thinkers, artists, and philosophers as the cornerstone of insight. It is within this solitude that the mind can wander freely, unfettered by the chaos of the world, fostering ideas that carry the weight to change the world. This mental withdrawal becomes essential, offering uninterrupted reflection and creativity to solve complex enigmas, synthesize ideas, and discover new pathways. Without the immediate pressures of societal norms, we are freed to explore uncharted territories of thought, engaging in unhurried contemplation that encourages depth and innovation. In this sacred silence, we commune with our inner genius, allowing it to guide our creativity and shape our actions. This is not an escape, but a deeper immersion into the richness within, returning with insights to illuminate our path. Within this sacred solitude, the seeds of emotional resilience are sown. Deprived of external validation, we face our emotions in raw, untouched states, accepting their ebb and flow as natural manifestations of our humanity. We cultivate a heart that can weather life's storms, not by suppressing these emotions, but by creating space for them to exist without commandeering us. This becomes a training ground, transforming reactiveness into contemplation, offering a haven to observe and understand, to unravel our triggers and transcend habits that hinder us. As our narrative unfolds, let us embrace the call to depth, a profound opportunity to connect with the essence of our being. This sacred exploration bids us to ask fundamental questions. Who are we beyond roles and duties? What hidden truths lie dormant, awaiting discovery? It is not a quest for answers, but an experience of inquiry, unearthing the currents shaping our lives, recognizing the entwined connections with the universe. Surrendering to life's mysteries, we find peace not in knowing, but in the faithful unfolding of our journey. Silence then emerges as an eloquent teacher, whispering truths in a language beyond words. This absence of noise refines our intuition, allowing our soul's gentle nudges to steer us onwards. We cultivate an intimate symphony with ourselves, trusting the revelations arising from this serene communion. Silence becomes our companion, guiding us toward authenticity and enriching the complexity of our human experience. In solitude's embrace, we learn the dance of isolation and connection, intertwined forces that reveal true communion's roots within authenticity. Solitude strips away masks, nurturing our capacity for genuine engagement. Through this duality, we master the art of independence and interdependence, emerging refreshed and enriched. Returning, we find that solitude and connection are not adversaries but allies, amplifying our capacity to love and be loved. Finally, sealed in solitude lies integrity's trial. Within this mirror of isolation, our actions are scrutinized against the values we profess. Here we discover the authenticity of our intentions, embracing refinement and growth. This solitude reflects our shadows and light, challenging us to live true to our highest principles, steadfast and unwavering in obscurity. Through this we return enriched, embracing life's complexities with inner stillness and unbreakable clarity. In the gentle embrace of stillness, true power unfolds like a tender, unfurling blossom. It is not the absence of motion, but the presence of deep, resonant calm. Within a world hurriedly racing past, this rare serenity becomes a refuge, a sacred chamber where chaos cannot intrude. Stillness is often mistaken as idle or inert, yet at its core, it is an intentional move towards tranquility. It involves stepping back from life's relentless tempo, allowing one to meet their own essence in the silent spaces where truth sits waiting. In finding stillness, we relinquish the resting control over what cannot be tamed. Imagine stepping away from the crowded marketplace of endless demands and into the quiet communion with one's inner landscape. This retreat is not a withdrawal from life, but a profound return to the self, a posture of listening deeply to whispers of wisdom overshadowed by external clamour. Here lies a different kind of strength, one that whispers instead of shouts, rooted in the sovereign ground of quietude. Choosing stillness in a world that glorifies endless doing is in itself a profound act of resistance. Society often equates success with constant activity, yet within the pause lies potential. It is a pause pregnant with possibility, where the sound of one's own heart becomes a true compass. Stillness turns our gaze inward, allowing the frantic chase of validation to yield to a serene acknowledgement of self-worth, a calm self-acceptance that draws no line between inner peace and outward action. Embrace this stillness as a gentle defiance, a silent revolution against the tyranny of perpetual motion. By stepping into stillness, we tap into a power that is resilient and unwavering. This deliberate silence is a stance of integrity, where noise does not dominate but insight thrives. It provides a space to measure each reaction, to act from clarity and not from haste. This contemplative state becomes a wellspring of authentic expression, rooted firmly in grounded presence. The non-reactive nature born of stillness is a path to liberation. While the world often spins into frenzied loops of reactivity, choosing to remain centered becomes an art form. In this sanctuary, decisions bloom from a fertile ground of calm deliberation. Non-reactivity is neither indifference nor disinterest. It arises from profound emotional intelligence. It asks us to sit with our emotions, to witness without judgment, and in doing so, it nurtures an autonomy over our internal realm where peace reigns sovereign. Through the embrace of stillness, spiritual mastery unfurls. The noisy confines of the tangible ebb away, giving rise to the delicate murmurs of the soul. This is the space where divine whispers guide the attentive heart in its journey of unfolding. Spiritual mastery is not a distant summit, but a continuous dance with the subtle energies that weave our existence together. In stillness, the self dissolves into the harmony of interconnectedness, discovering the eternal within the transient. Here in the sanctity of this internal haven, one finds refuge. The chaos of the mundane world halts at the threshold. In this quietude lies the opportunity to reconnect with an authentic self, unshackled from external expectations. This sanctuary, however, is not confined to a location but is ever present within us, a stillness that becomes a stalwart support as we navigate the vicissitudes of existence. Letting go within stillness invites us to release our grip on resistance. Control, often an illusion, dissipates in the face of acceptance. When resistance softens, peace floods in, transforming struggle into graceful acquiescence to the flow of life. This letting go becomes a doorway to resilience, where fear and anxiety lose their grip, making way for new revelations that arise from the void of resistance. In this sacred stillness, a skillful listening emerges. The quietude allows one to hear, not just with the ears, but with the heart. Deep listening becomes an act of profound engagement, leading to empathy and understanding. a communion with self and others on a level deeper than words. In moments of such presence, the guidance needed for one's journey becomes clear, illuminated by the light of inner awareness. As inner peace takes root, it symbolises a return to equilibrium, a state not contingent on the ever-shifting world outside, but anchored firmly within. This peace is a gentle acceptance, a pouring out of contentment from the reservoir within. In the embrace of such serenity, the dances of anxiety and doubt quieten, leaving only the gentle rhythm of a heart aligned with truth. In solitude, through stillness, the subtle path of transformation beckons. Here, alone with oneself, distractions fall away, leaving space for introspection and self-realization. Solitude invites us to meet our shadow, to integrate the unacknowledged parts until we emerge whole, ready to step into the fullness of who we are meant to be. Here the alchemy of solitude forges us anew, remoulding the very essence of our being. Bringing this stillness into the tapestry of everyday life becomes a delicate art. It whispers into the routine, interweaving moments of quiet reflection within the business of living. As this practice deepens, everyday actions transform into graceful expressions of inner peace. Thus, stillness ceases to merely be a practice. It becomes a living, breathing part of one's being, igniting a gentle yet profound transformation that illuminates the path ahead. In the twilight of this exploration, we journey to a place where integrity becomes its own quiet kingdom. Imagine a soul standing alone on a windswept cliff, unbending to the whims of external applause. Here lies the individual who no longer bends for approval, a beacon of authenticity in a world often coloured by conformity. This is not a tale of grandiosity, but one of profound simplicity, where personal truth is cherished as a sacred reward. In a society that often clamours for conformity, this solitude becomes both a sanctuary and a testament to the resilient spirit. A spirit that breathes freely in the abandonment of the need for constant validation. To reach this place of unyielding strength, one must first embark on an intimate pilgrimage inward, where the recesses of the mind are illuminated, where shadows once feared become allies instead of adversaries. An exploration akin to Jungian shadow work, where each step through the dimly lit corners of the psyche reveals both light and dark as integral parts of the self. It is here, amid the whispers of silence, that the soul learns to integrate these disparate parts, creating harmony between inner values and outward expressions. This quest toward understanding is not solely confined to solitary meditation, but transcends into everyday life. A quiet reflection amid the bustle, a reconciling breath taken before reactivity can take hold. Our thoughts create symphonies within, orchestrated by authenticity and openness, forging a steadfast connection with the true self. In returning to this essence, one finds a home amid chaos, a refuge fortified by self-awareness and resilience. At the core of such an unwavering spirit lies a personal philosophy, not borrowed or dictated, but crafted from the threads of introspection and the fibres of real, lived experiences. It is a tapestry woven with questions, courage, and refinement. A compass that points undeniably toward one's own north, unaffected by the fleeting trends of society. Like a sculptor chiselling away at marble, the individual refines and redefines their core values, continuously evolving with time and presence. As this philosophy grounds the unshakable spirit, it becomes imperative to master the emotional landscape, creating a garden where emotions do not overgrow, but are nurtured thoughtfully. In this garden, Emotions are not denied but understood and harmonized. Viktor Frankl reminds us of the space between stimulus and response, a haven where choice flourishes. In this place, emotions become gentle guides, not tyrants. Their voices acknowledged, yet no longer allowed to dictate actions. Within this tapestry of emotional and philosophical clarity stands the esteemed art of boundary setting. This is an art form of self-respect. It is about drawing lines in the sand with loving assertion, demarcating the outline of one's integrity and energy. Boundaries are the quiet sentinels of personal truth, respectful yet resolute, guarding what is sacred within. They allow relationships to thrive in honesty and mutual respect, crafting an environment where authenticity can breathe and grow. Solitude becomes a cherished companion on this journey, not a punishment, but a sacred pause where the mind can stretch and explore without distraction. It is a sanctuary where inner dialogue takes root, where the seeds of self-reflection flourish. In solitude, we do not find loneliness, but a deeper connection with the self, a realm where clarity and conviction are nurtured in the quiet embrace of one's own company. Within this sanctuary of solitude blooms a delicate balance of power and vulnerability. The unshakable spirit recognizes strength, not in the armor of detachment, but in the courage to embrace vulnerability. Here lies the audacious defiance against a world armoured in facade, a courageous unveiling of the self, where shadows are welcomed as teachers. In this delicate dance, seeds of resilience are sown, roots growing deep and steadfast. Integrity itself is the ultimate reward in the journey of inward exploration. It is not the accolades or external validation sought, but the serene assurance of alignment with one's path, an eternal gift that transcends the need for ephemeral applause. This serene security becomes a gentle beacon, lighting the way forward, suffusing life with an inner purpose that outlasts the transient accolades of the world. The legacy of an unshakable spirit is forged not in the weight of material achievements, but in the lightness of influence, in the gentle ripples cast upon the sea of consciousness. It is a legacy whispered in the lives quietly touched, a presence inspiring others to pursue their paths within the cadence of their truth. It transcends time, an enduring echo of authenticity, encouraging others to claim their unfaltering selves. Now, as this journey concludes, we stand on the brink of new beginnings, gazing toward horizons untold. This path is not an end, but a continuing invitation to honour the arc of one's journey, to embrace the promise of each day with authenticity and truth. It is here, fortified by integrity, that we find the heart of real power. Unshakable yet tender, attuned to the quiet truths that guide our way. In this space, I invite you to stay connected, to delve deeper into such explorations. If this journey resonated with you, let us continue together, underneath the canopy of insight and reflection. Like this journey if it speaks to your spirit, subscribe if you seek more kindred whispers, and let us navigate these paths of contemplation together.